And so this is the thing I want people to learn on this video, is just because it's policy doesn't mean I go, well, oh crap, that didn't work. What did I do? This is part 2 of a series that we're doing. I just bought a deal where seller couldn't sell their property, agent couldn't sell it with traditional financing. Carolyn and Myron from my sub 2 community ended up getting the agent paid on a sub 2 deal, $6,800, and they're also getting paid a $10,000 assignment fee. I'm buying the deal, and we just broke that all down in part 1. So if you're watching this in part 2, we're gonna be going through how the Gator loan works, because I'm borrowing $5,000 for the EMD, or the earnest money, okay? Earnest money is essentially, let me tell you what earnest money is before I jump into this, because I'm gonna call a title company right now and work this with you guys. Sorry guys, I'm anti-edits, I'm anti all that kind of crap, anti-prepared, just let you guys see in the real life. I cut my fingernails really short so I can't even pick things off the whiteboard. So let's say that I go to a real estate agent and I decide I want to buy a house for $200,000. Okay, the average purchase contract in the United States, the agent is going to require 1 to 3% of this purchase contract to be put into title and escrow as a deposit. Okay, so let's say a $200,000 house, the agent is going to require, and if you're an agent, tell me I'm wrong, right? If you're an agent and a real estate investor comes to you and says, I want to buy that deal, and they don't have earnest money, are you gonna let your seller get under contract with that wholesaler or that real estate investor? The answer is absolutely not. Put that in the comments so other people that don't understand that about earnest money can see your guys' comments and know that as an agent, you would never let an investor get under contract without putting earnest money in. So earnest money, let's say in this situation, the agent says, no problem, $200,000 will work for me and my client. Here's their client. Let's get under a contract. But that contract is going to state $200,000 purchase price with 1% going in as EMD. EMD is like the engagement ring to a real estate transaction. You're not married yet, but we want to show people that we're engaged. And the agent's going to require you to come up with $2,000 today. And then let's say your contract is a 30-day contract. You are then going to have to bring the remaining $198,000 to the table. Okay, so what happens with wholesalers a lot of times, or real estate investors, is they have 5, 6, 10, sometimes even more contracts out at a time with EMD on every single deal, and they run out of cash. So what happens is, on this deal that I bought in part 1, there's a $5,000 EMD requirement, and I don't have the money, okay? I'm actually borrowing the money from a girl named Danny Gish here in Gilbert. She's a Gator lender. And the reason I don't have money is because if you guys look here, nobody sees my password, it's good. You guys can see that in my account I have 40 grand, but if I click on here, you'll see that I paid, let's see, I paid $110,000 for a private money lender this morning. My studio, or designing studio, 14 grand. I then wired $500,000 to pay off a private money lender, okay? And then this morning, I paid that $40,000 that I have, I paid $38,000 of that to my American Express bill for the month. So I don't have money for a couple of days. And I have to wire $5,000 on this deal today to make it work. And in part 1, I called Danny Gish. She said she'd lend me $5 grand to get the deal opened. She'll wire the money today, and I will give her a $3,000 return, which results in we had to go through the math a couple times because we're dumb, but it results in 2,190%. Hey guys, I'm here with Danny Gish, and Danny Gish is in this video with me right now. She's the one that I'm calling to make a deal happen. She actually came through with the $5,000 on the deal in San Angelo. Did you end up getting paid?
Yes.
Okay, how much you get paid?
$3,000 return.
And I think we worked out the return is that you gatored the deal in San Angelo $5,000. You got $3,000 back. It took about a month. Mm-hmm. So you got, I think, an annualized return of 720%.
Yes, and let's remember I wrestled that one. So I didn't even have to bring $5,000 of my own money.
There you go. So guys, while you're watching this video, you should DM Danny, get to know her. She has money, or she has access to people that have money. So if you guys are trying to get somebody to fund your Gator or your EMD, or even do transactional lending for you, use dannysmoney.com. I hope is a domain that she has by
Hopefully
this
we
point.
can register that.
Put whatever domain name she has, put it right here, Mr. Editor, so everybody can watch and see it. Go to this domain. Guys, thank you so much. Keep watching the video. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call the title company and I'm gonna make sure you guys see the contract language that in order for me to make sure that this is a good deal, I asked Carolyn, if you guys look here, Carolyn, here, I'll bring it over to you, Eric. Here, Carolyn gave me the purchase contract right here. So just a couple minutes ago, what time is it? She sent this at 11 a.m. It's 11:28 a.m. So this is happening live right now, okay? So she says, here's the contract. And this is my sub-2 contract that my students use. The most important part of this contract I'm gonna find right now is I wanna make sure that if I'm gonna go borrow money from a Gator, here we go, boom. So check this out. This whole part is the most important part if I'm borrowing money from a Gator. Instruction to release the deposit upon cancellation during the inspection period. The seller hereby irrevocably instructs escrow agent to return the deposit to the buyer or any person or entity designated by the buyer to receive the deposit. So check this out. I'm gonna call the escrow officer on this deal and I'm gonna tell her, hey, we're wiring money today. Let's call her right now. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm wiring $5,000 today to open up escrow. I just need to make sure you've read the paperwork and you understand the relationships that are coming into the deal. This is Stewart Title in Texas.
Thank you for calling Stewart Title. This is Justin.
Hey Justin, is Kelly Walker available?
I believe she is. Let me transfer you back to her.
Thank you.
Kelly Walker. Record your message at the tone.
Dang it.
When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey Kelly, my name is Pace Morby. We are opening escrow on a deal where I'm the buyer on a deal. Let's see, the address is, and I'm actually borrowing the earnest money deposit from a lender. And I just wanted to make sure that you and I were on the same page with all that kind of stuff. Let me know when we can chat. Thank you so much. All right, so my goal is I want to make sure that Kelly at Stewart Title is aware that the earnest money is actually not coming from me. It's really important. Okay, did you guys know about real estate agents have something called commission instructions?
Yes.
Okay, an agent will never do a deal ever without submitting their commission instructions to a title company, ever. If you're an agent, would you ever do a deal without submitting your commission instructions to the title company? The answer is absolutely not. You would never do that. It's the same thing when you are lending money as a Gator. You would never loan $5,000 to my transaction or anybody's transaction without making sure that the title company is aware that you are lending $5,000 for the earnest money and you expect to get that money back plus a return. So what I'm planning on doing with Kelly is this. I'm planning on calling Kelly and saying, hey Kelly, I'm the one that's buying the deal. I'm gonna borrow money from a private money lender, but I can't move fast enough with a private money lender. I gotta go find somebody with $44,000. I gotta get into an agreement with them. But unfortunately, I need $5,000 today to open up escrow or else we are in violation of the contract, okay? I will tell Kelly that $5,000 is coming from Danny Gish and Danny's going to wire $5,000 today. She already committed to me. And that when I close escrow with my new private money lender, this private money lender's money pays the $10,000 to Carolyn and Myron. So the $44,000 will pay that, it will pay that, and then the $44,000 will also pay the agent's commission, plus closing costs, plus some other, and the seller, I shouldn't say the seller's getting zero, they're just getting zero in their pocket. The seller's actually getting $22,000 of our private money lender to catch up their arrears and get their property back in a good standing situation. So what's in it for the seller? The seller's behind on their payments. The seller lost their job. Guys, if you haven't known this for a while, the economy is in a tailspin, right? Things are getting really, really bad. This is also why Bigger Pockets and I decided to write this book and launch it right now because interest rates are gonna go up again. This book comes out on May 2nd of 2023. It's Wealth Without Cash. It talks all about these types of transactions, where to find them, how to get lists, how somebody like Kevin Cho is gonna make, what do you think he'll make this year?
Half a million.
How old are you?
22.
He's 22 years old. He's gonna make $500,000 because he understands these things, how to talk to sellers. Chris, how old are you?
34?
He's 34. You gonna make a couple $100 grand this year?
Yes.
Like, this is stupid, right? You think you'll make more money than Kevin?
Probably not.
Okay, but you'll make good money this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and how can people reach out to you guys, by the way? We told them in video 1, but not in video 2.
My Instagram is KevinCho12.
My Instagram is ChrisJBREI _REI.
_REI. We'll put it in the link in the description down below. If you guys want to know more about these types of things, get the book. It's like $24. Yes, I'm trying to sell you something. Yeah, hate me for it. Bigger Pockets takes the lion's share of this, but I just want to get the information out there. Why do you think I want to get the information of sub 2 out there, Kevin?
Well, number one, it helps so many homeowners out of foreclosure. That's the only way to get homeowners out of foreclosure in certain situations.
Right.
So.
And number 2, this is a big one. This is funny that you haven't said this as the number 1. What's the number 1? So I can do more deals with people like you guys.
Yeah.
You can agree that when I taught you how to do creative finance, you became really good at it, and now you and I are making money together. Right? Okay, so guys, I want to teach you creative finance so that you guys can go out and do the same exact thing. It seems like hieroglyphics on the board if you didn't watch part 1. So this is a reminder. Go back and watch part 1 of this. I want you to become a Gator lender. I want to see more private money floating in the ecosphere. I want a lot more private money lenders jumping in and doing these deals. I want more people like Carolyn and Myron making $10,000 assignment fees. I want more people like Tanisha Epps managing midterm rentals and doing sober living. Guys, these houses, forget about the value of the house. Look at the interest rate, 3.625. Go out and gobble up as many of these as you possibly can, and you'll be able to dominate. So here's what we're doing if you guys are just watching this one for the first time. Part 1, we broke down the deal. Part 2, we're gonna extend this part of the video. So when, let's call the title company one more time. Do you guys like the no edit type of stuff that I do?
Yeah.
It's just like, let's just go. I don't have time to script stuff. I'm just trying to do deals,
Thank you for calling Stewart Title. This is Justin.
Hey Justin, it's Pace again. I miss Kelly. Is she available?
Yeah, I think I heard her talking back there as soon as I hit send, so I believe she's back at her desk. But if not, I wrote your number down, and I'll walk back there and make sure she gets a message to give you a call. What was your first name again?
My name's Pace. I'm about to jump on a flight, which is why I'm trying to connect with her now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let me transfer you right back to her. I'll watch to see if she answers.
You see what happens when you do that? Urgency. Little tricks.
This is Kelly.
Hi Kelly, my name's Pace Morby. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm so good. Hey, we're opening up escrow with you guys on a sub 2 deal with Carolyn Myron. I'm not sure if you saw the contract already.
Let's see. I've been in closings all morning long. What's the address on that one?
And I'll tell you the reason why I'm calling. I just want to be really quick with it, and I'm jumping on a plane here in a sec.
Sure.
So I'm the buyer, and the EMD is not coming from me. I actually just paid off like $1 million of private lenders this morning, and then got this deal across my table, and it needs $5,000 EMD. So I'm actually borrowing the $5,000 EMD, and I will refinance my EMD lender with a private money lender at close of escrow.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, but in the contract, the purchase contract, it states that the seller has already released their right to challenge my return of my EMD during my inspection period.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure you see that part of the contract, because here's what's going on. The seller's in foreclosure, $22,000 in arrears, and we're going to have you guys order a reinstatement, and if it comes back higher than what they told us, I'm going to cancel the contract.
Okay.
And what I don't want is the seller to have the ability to say, well, I want my EMD, because they've already released it in my purchase contract. On I think it's like page 3 or 4, the purchase contract states that the seller is irrevocably releasing their right to challenge my earnest money return during my inspection period.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I will tell you, I know you got to go, but Stewart's requirement, anytime we get earnest money deposit, in order for us to release anything, we have to have signed authorization, even if it is within the contract.
I get that. Is there something that your guys' title company can have us release while I'm in there, and I can have the seller sign that's like on your guys' letterhead?
Well, the only thing that we would have would be like the release of earnest money.
Yeah, can we have the seller release that ahead of time?
I can send you the form if y'all want to sign it ahead of time and just hold on to it, put a sticky note on there that we're just waiting.
Yeah, I love it.
for it to pass.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. My challenge is with these sellers that are in foreclosure, a lot of times they'll tell us things that are incorrect, and then the earnest or the arrears come back way higher, and then they try and challenge and take our EMD.
Yeah.
And so the seller's like, I'll sign whatever. I don't want the EMD, but while they're in that state of mind, I want to make sure that they just sign whatever you guys want to see.
Understood. Yeah, completely understood. Okay.
Cool.
Paige, how do you want me to get signature? You want me to email that to you or?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll email you in a couple of minutes. I'll put my COO and my transaction coordinator on an email. And if you could just reply back, that'd be awesome.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll be on the lookout for it.
What is your email, by the way? You're like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh yeah, I've been called that my whole life.
I love that. Cool. I'm just going to copy you and Molly and Allison, my transaction coordinator, and just have you reply back with the release of EMD form that you guys want, and we will get that signed.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
All right, bye-bye. You see, there's a couple of things here that most people won't do. Number one, you guys already know this, but somebody doesn't want to just, human beings are typically lazy, right? But if you give them one little bit of like social pressure, they don't want to let people down. So me saying, I'm about to jump on a flight, I won't be able to talk to her, immediately makes him walk back and get her on the phone. And then also I tell her, hey, I got to get on a flight. So it forces the conversation to go way faster than normal. You want to keep your conversations to 3 minutes or less. That's how you do it. You're always jumping on a flight. You're always going to do something. You're always about to walk into a meeting, right? I do this all the time. So then that's one thing. The second thing that I would want people to learn of what I just did there is that she says, no, I want to see a release from the seller at Stewart Title. It's our policy. And I go, great. What paperwork do you want to see? So instead of me assuming that I'm going to use my paperwork, I want to just accomplish whatever it is. The thing I want to accomplish is I want to make sure the seller in the state of Texas, because it's a dual release state, I want to make sure that the title company knows ahead of time that I have a document stating that if we cancel during the inspection period, they've already released their right to get my EMD. Does that make sense? Did you know that that's a thing in Texas?
Well, I'm working on one right now. I have a $3,000 business stuck in one deal.
Why you didn't watch the trainings on this? You missed out on it. You were out working out or doing, what were you doing?
I don't know. I wasn't.
This is a very guys, pay attention to this. This is a very important thing for you to understand. You need to know if your state is a mutual release state. So Utah, Texas are big mutual release states, which means if you look at this deal, okay, even though the seller in my contract states that they release their right to fight for my EMD, because what's the point of a 10-day inspection period? If I have 10 days that I can cancel for any reason, then why does the state require the seller to sign off on my EMD being released back to me? It's weird how that works, right? So what I do is in my purchase contract, I state, this is the contract you guys have. By the way, if you got an escrow with our purchase contract, then you're covered. Right. Okay? It states it in the contract. Okay? Again, I'll pull this up. Sorry for bouncing back and forth, Eric. But this is the thing you need to pay attention to, Kevin. Is in this contract, it says it right here. No. There it is. So section 7 of our purchase contract, it states, seller hereby irrevocably instructs an escrow agent. Who is the escrow agent on that phone call? Kelly. So it tells them the seller is instructing the escrow agent to return the deposit to the buyer, which is me, or to any person or entity designated by the buyer, which would be the Gator, to receive the deposit if buyer elects to cancel this contract during the inspection period. Seller hereby waives any rights under the state or other law to object to the release of the deposit. Now, what I teach people is that will work 90% of the time. 10% of the time, you'll get a Kelly that's like, I'm sorry, it's policy. And so this is the thing I want people to learn on this video, is just because it's policy doesn't mean I go, well, oh crap, that didn't work. What did I do? I said, okay, well, what's your solution? And she goes, well, we could just send you our EMD release. I go, okay, so you're okay if I just get that signed beforehand? She's like, yeah, totally fine. All you guys know this because you guys are great closers, but I'm using you as my audience so that people on YouTube can learn this, is that you don't give up when you hear something, you pivot and you change. So people are like, my title company said this and my closing attorney said this. You ever heard that? You see whiners and complainers that are like, oh my God, my title company said I can't do this. It's because you haven't learned how to deal with human beings, dude. Like, you use human nature to your benefit. Kelly, the title company, is gonna make money from our transaction. Their title company is gonna make money. Why wouldn't I do things that are gonna benefit everybody just to get the deal closed? If you guys wanna be a gator and she's gonna make $5,000 loan for 10 days. She'll make a $3,000 return on top of that. So I'll wire $8,000 back to her. I won't wire the money. What will happen is I'll go borrow $44,000 from a private money lender. $44,000 will pay off the gator, pay Carolyn and Myron, pay the agent, pay the seller's arrears, and then also pay for Kelly to do all the paperwork. So literally I have no costs in the deal. If you guys want to learn how to be a gator, we'll have a link in the description down below. We have a training every Saturday we do. Molly on my team, Allison on my team does a training. I do the training every once in a while. If you guys want to be in the Sub2 community, reach out to these boys. These boys are absolutely amazing. They'll do deals with you. They'll help you find private money. They'll link in. They'll even call sellers for you and close your deals. And don't forget, I'm trying to sell you a $24.99 hard copy book, biggerpockets.com/wealth without cash. And you won't type that in. So go in the description down below and we'll see you in part 3 of the Gator Flow in this series.